Hey folks, how's it going? I'm Josh. We're checking out Bo Burnham's Kill Yourself. Gas mask for this for a while since I checked out his other one, Art is Dead. That one was a bit of a downer. You guys said this one is much funnier, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Please see and leave comments below, guys, because all our videos on this channel are based off of your comments. And if you subscribe, we check out those comments and recommendations first. So the original video link you guys gave me is down. I'm guessing YouTube pulled it down or something. This is the only one I could find besides other videos that just had lyrics on it. So let's jump into this one.
Song like this. Have you ever felt sad or lonely? Have you ever felt 2 feet tall? Have you ever thought, man, if only I was anybody else at all? They like to kick you when times get rough, and you give your all, but it's not enough, and sticks and stones might break your bones, but words can break your heart. But if you don't know where to go, I'll show you where to start. Kill yourself, it'll only take a minute. You'll be happy that you did it. Just go over to your oven and shove your head in it. Kill yourself, really you should do it. There's really nothing to it. Just grab a mug and chug a couple lighter fluid. Okay, now I feel a lot of you pulling back. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that I told you I'll kill yourselves. I'm just trying to make the simple point that life is complex and hard, and the simplest answers aren't always the correct ones. You shouldn't just be brave, you shouldn't just roar. And on the other side, you shouldn't just kill yourself.
Going forward, I'm going to stop reading the lyrics. I think I'm ruining the lead up to it, so I'm going to try to stare up here.
But I understand that that sort of subtle point about pop music is sort of being drowned out by me yelling, kill yourself over and over. And it was a little insensitive and tasteless. And I've had suicide in my life. I don't want to make light of it. I sound unempathetic. I sound mean and rude. Suicide is an epidemic, and I don't want to be misconstrued. Signs of depression go overlooked. So if you're depressed, then you need to book a therapy session. Talk about your depression and let a professional hear it. But if you search for moral wisdom in Katy Perry's lyrics, then kill yourself. It won't be painful if you are able to give a little kiss to an oncoming train. You'll kill yourself. It's over, mullet. There's a trigger, pull it. Get it through your head, it being a bullet. Stick your tongue in a plug. Suck a pipe of exhaust. Make some toast in the tub. Nail yourself to a cross. Hold your breath till it's gone. Drink a gallon of mace. Be gay in Iran. Spit on your face. Jump off the bridge. Skin and dip in a flood. Skydive attached to a fridge. Drink a Haitian guy's blood. Take it to the zoo. Give the tiger a shove, eat a Phillips head screw, marry Courtney Love.
Oh, cold-blooded. Oh, that was cold-blooded. Why are you always recommending me my own videos? Alright, that's changed my view of it, man. That was good. And it was really clever. So, like, I was watching this, and I was like, this kind of feels like the Art is Dead song. When it was, like, starting, just because he was, had a serious tone. And he even stopped for a minute to bring it back down to, like, more of a serious place. And then brought it right back up to, like, you know, the suicide jokes. And it was well done, well played. I don't think anybody who watches this, even if you don't like him, can say that it wasn't well done. And some were just really clever. Like, of course, like Kiss an Oncoming Train, or... what do you call? He said, like, I forgot, something into the tub, like take a toaster into the tub, suck on the exhaust, that kind of stuff. Of course, that's, you know, those are normal, like, suicide tactics. But, like, when he got clever with, like, 0% on your face, began Iran, that was super clever. Marry Courtney Love, that was fantastic. And what do you call it? Drink a Haitian guy's blood. I'm assuming he was talking about give yourself AIDS and die kind of thing. And this is good, man. He was really good at, I forgot what the exact, there's actual word for it, I believe, in like comedy. Like the only thing the best example I can give is when somebody does blackface in order to make fun of blackface, that's okay. But when you do blackface to intentionally like disparage an entire race or whatever, then that's when it's negative. Or because you wanted to keep a black person out of work, so you go into blackface and live up to every stereotype there is when it comes to like black people, all the negative stereotypes and stuff. So it's somebody, there was a word somebody put it to when I was watching a radio show. He kind of did that with the suicide thing. Like it's fine to make fun of it as long as you have like a nice little baseline as to why it's not like he's really making fun of suicide. He's saying suicide's a serious thing. We should take it seriously. It's an epidemic, and if you really need help, go see help. But if you're this type of person, kill yourself. And I get that. I definitely get it. Like that's why. What do you? I really get it. I remember a while ago some interview that Kevin Hart was doing, and he was saying like how if you're the type of person who bothers a celebrity while they're on a tour and you're not like you're bothering them, they're about to miss a plane or something like that, and you know they're in a rush and you still jump in their way because you feel like it's a one in a lifetime opportunity, then to kill yourself. Because like Jesus, like yeah, I'm a celebrity, but I can miss a plane just like you, kind of like thing. So I think like the whole point of the song was like make fun of people who are like a specific way, and they should kill themselves. So I really thought it was gonna be, I don't know, I don't really go into this with a big expectation, but whatever, like it led me in a direction that I would have never thought of myself. Which whenever somebody does that, not saying like I'm some super smart guy, that's I always give them props for it, because it's kind of like Anthony Jeselnik with his stories. I never know where he's going with those stories, and whenever the punchline hits, that's why it kills me every time, because I never expect him to go where he went with his stories. And the same thing with this, when he was like saying about like kill yourself, it was well done. He like, I feel like it started off really slow, he spikes it up, then he brings it back down again and spikes it up again. And usually I don't really in regards to music, I can't stand the stuff. That's why I'm not a big fan of dubstep. My friend loves dubstep. Like he always like the constant drops. It's just it's kind of like, and this is a different subject, but the reason a dubstep reminds me of like I guess best thing I think of is like a lazy guitar solo or something. Because you know when there's a really good song, you kind of wait for that really good guitar solo if you like alternative or rock music or whatever. And dubstep just seems like they just want to keep on throwing them in there where it kind of defeats it. It's kind of like highlighting everything on a page. It's like it defeats the whole purpose of highlighting it. That's what dubstep with the constant like drops and builds up and drops and builds up. But he loves it. There's actually a subcategory of dubstep that I like though. It's not like that. It's more instrumental. It just feels like more like it's closer to synthwave, but not completely. But yeah. Yes, whenever somebody does drop stuff like that, I really don't like. But he did a good job with that, man. He like not only did he make jokes about it, but he underlined the seriousness about it as well, which I can respect that. That's good. I can see somebody look for inspiration as to why like to not kill themselves, like to why shouldn't I kill myself, and then this song pops up. And I'm not saying this is enough to keep somebody from like, you know, committing suicide or something like that, but I could see somebody like something like this like taking light in it, because I think a lot of the videos out there don't necessarily do anything. It's just a person who's never actually truly dealt with suicide telling you what you should probably do. Get out and see sunshine and get out and do these things. Like that's for you. You probably never dealt with suicide. You're just saying those things that make you happy. So you think if you say this to a suicidal person, it's that simple. But depression is a serious thing, and he really did a good job of making it like funny, man. He really did. As a person who's been through like bleak moments in his life and stuff like that, like this dude did a really good job. This was funny. I could see myself coming across this, being depressed and then just brightening up my freaking day. I could see this like making it funny. Like if you're like like as long as you're not this person, man, you should be out there. You should be out there in the world. You should be alive. The people who should kill themselves are these type of people. Those he said the people who kind of like find inspiration, or whatever the exact words were, like in Katy Perry's lyrics. People like that who think they're deep, but they're really not. Isn't that terrible? Somebody tries to be deep. I never get that. Sniffles. But yeah, I enjoyed it. That's all. I don't want to say. I don't really think I have too much else to say about it. Besides, I enjoyed it. I thought this was fantastic. I think he did a really good job. I know I don't say there's just as many. There's about maybe 10% of people saying that I probably won't like him at all. So I probably shouldn't check them out. But I always like to give people a second, sometimes a third chance when I check their stuff out. And I like them. I just this song alone I like because I think everybody's dealt with some form of like not necessarily hardcore depression, or suicidal thoughts, but everybody's been through that point in their life where things seem bleak, where you feel like you don't really have any direction. You don't know exactly what your next move is going to be. You don't know who. And in my case, the type of person who don't really like to ask for help, so you don't want to go ask for help. So you just gotta try to So all the pressure is just on you to figure it out. There's not really resources to go to because you're one of those people who are too proud to take on that stuff, which is a bad trait to have. So don't have that trait. I have that. When you need help, you need to go and ask for it. There's plenty of situations where I've been in because where if I just would have asked for help, it would have made it a lot easier. But I'm just one of those people who just don't. I don't do it. It's a bad character flaw. So you should, if you really need help, ask for it. Because I know whenever somebody needs help from me, I'm always willing to help, and I'm always happy to help, and in whatever way I can. But I always feel like I'm just inconveniencing somebody, or it reflects negatively on myself that I need to ask for help. If you know what I mean. If you guys deal with that, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm doing a bad job explaining it, but I can see coming across this song as something as small as this can cheer you up, man. Seriously, a lot of songs like people to give you like they think like that's one of the reasons people will look at songs like this. The people who kind of I guess the glass half empty kind of people look at songs like this as a negative and a slight against like people who have suicidal tendencies and depression and stuff like that. I don't, man. Stuff like these songs like this and things like this really kind of help. I really feel like they do help. That's why I really enjoyed. I still like Blink-182. It's one of my favorite bands, but whenever I put on Blink-182, I can never be. It takes me out of a slump. It takes me out of that slump, man. The music is so happy. Later on, the stuff got a little more like emo a little bit, but for the most part, the stuff is really, really happy music. And one of my favorite songs is Adam's Song, and that song is so great because a lot of people took that as they're telling you to like things are so bleak and bad you should kill yourself, but that's not what the song was about. That's not what I got out of it, and that's not what it was intended for. It's kind of tell you about that you shouldn't commit suicide. Even at the end of the song, they tell you. They don't say like don't kill yourself, but it ends like on a happy note. So I don't know. What do you call I think the last songs is the tour's over, we survived. So like you there's always like better days. So you always like get through it, and songs like that, songs like this, I think help a lot of people out. I think the people who've never been through, which you're lucky if you've never been through like that, like like a bad mental state. I mean, everybody get like I think a lot of people don't like to admit to it because it makes them feel weak. But you've been there. You've been in like negative places, and stuff like this helps, man. That's why I love comedy. That's why I love unfiltered comedy, like where people are allowed to get up there and say what they need to say as a platform. And if it's not funny, the audience lets you know, and then they just won't make it. But I don't think you should filter stuff before people even say it, before they even have an opportunity to say what they need to say. I really feel like what's the best word for it? Like Darwinism. Like it is the weak stuff will eventually weed itself out. That's how like the Android marketplace works. Like poor apps will weed themselves out. You don't really need a full blown moderator to keep apps and stuff from going on there. If they're poor performing, enough people don't like it, it'll drop to the bottom of the list and it'll eventually disappear. It's the same thing with comedians who are actually truly racist or truly hateful. They'll eventually be weeded out and disappear themselves. I don't think you need to preemptively do it. You don't need to accuse somebody of a crime before it's committed, or assume this is what they mean and then take it from there. That's why I love comedy as a platform. That's why I enjoy kind of making fun of life's tragedies, because from personal experience and growing up in poverty and all that jazz, not trying to put a sob story on it, but I feel like my favorite times were like the harsher times. The stuff I remember the most is like playing the dozens and stuff with friends, like making fun of each other, making fun of each other's moms, all that jazz, watching comedy with my pops, stuff like Eddie Murphy Raw, all those things. And I know there's some people who don't have that. We're not coming from the same point of view, so I can't convince them to get into it. But in my experience, most people who are against these things are people who never gave it a chance, or they've never actually experienced like a ton of hardship, if you know what I mean. Like they've luckily been through life where they didn't have to, they weren't impacted by so many things like single parent household, the parents losing their job, going through divorce, all those things. They didn't have to experience any of that stuff. So in their head, this thing they're seeing is making it worse. And if it's just from their perception, like, oh, you should make fun of that because if I was in that situation, it'd make me feel terrible. But if you were never in it, you really don't know for sure. You know what I mean? I know I'm rambling on this one, but this I just appreciate songs like this. I didn't think it was gonna be this. I didn't think it'd be as clever and meaningful. Because the artist did, don't get me wrong, that was a clever song, but it was just all sad. To me, it just is kind of like it was like it was kind of downing song, but this was funny. I enjoyed this. I liked it a lot. I know I'm talking longer in this one just because I really appreciate songs like this. I enjoyed it. I don't think I have anything else to say, guys. Thank you guys very much if you stuck around this long. I'm really hoping you guys are happy, safe, and healthy, and you guys are having a good time with family and friends, and you're not taking songs like this too seriously. Where you automatically look at the title and say, oh, this is trash, and you thumbs down at like the 434 people who thumbs down this video that has 22,000 likes. So I always say when you see something like this, the numbers don't lie. Always think to yourself, is there something wrong with the rest of the world? Is there possibly something off about me? Always think of that. Always think that to yourself. Don't get me wrong, strange people have changed the world because they thought differently, but that's not always the case. All right, sometimes numbers make a lot more sense than you think that you might be this special person who stands out above the rest of the world, and you see things different than the rest of the world, like great scientists and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes I think you just didn't give it a chance. All right, guys, that's all. I'll leave you on that note. Give things a chance, especially if it's easy, like a video.